Kenzie and I like really, well, I almost said
Ooh.
a different word. We really like each other a lot. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like when I finally got my phone back, and they made us look at just trying to see, are there some negative things out there, are some positive things? Everyone's got to expect that there's going to be some negative stuff, but I was definitely surprised to see, some crazy hate comments and people saying some stuff. But at the end of the day, I feel like they just made me laugh. And ultimately, over the last few days of being outside, everything's just been so positive, and it's been very interesting to see. I've just been so happy with just getting to know her outside of the villa. Like the pretty much from when we landed in LA to now, we've just been spending some time in a hotel, like alone together. We've been, going out on like dinner dates and just doing stuff that allows us to get to know each other on a much more personal level, knowing that, cameras aren't in our face, we're not mic'd up. We can really just fully immerse ourselves in just us. And really, the good thing is she's exactly the way that she is in the villa. So there's no switch up. There's no, oh, I'm actually this way. I was just acting that way on camera. Like she's just authentically herself, and that's really what I fell for in the show. Is like I really fell for her personality. I fell for her looks. I fell for her family life. Her, quick-witted personality, and all those things. So I'm just really happy with my experience with her so far. Yeah, I mean, like, so really just when we got to the hotel, we were able to just unwind and just talk about like what a wild experience it was. And it was funny too, because I feel like, that our elimination episode, she was like very, almost like happy to just kind of like be gone. And understandably from her perspective, because she was there for pretty much twice as long as I was. And of course, like I was happy to get to leave with her, but it was funny just talking about like, oh, it would have been nice to like, stay in the Final Four and just like have that experience of going on a put together like special date for us and those type of things. But we were just kind of like laughing and talking about the really fun dates. And she had mentioned on After Sun just wanting to get very intimate with me off camera. So that's we definitely got down to business right away, and it was a lot of fun. And we have the personal connection, we have the emotional connection, and now like being able to explore the physical like all together has been really great. Yeah, no, it has. We are fully exclusive. We definitely were over it, or we've been over it on After Sun, but like we made it official now that we've been in LA. And I'm just excited to. I already have plans to go see her family in Georgia. I think today I'm leaving, so just still figuring out flight details and whatnot. And yeah, well, like we're just planning on continuing to go on dates and just having fun together, and then hopefully sometime in the very near future, I can, put a label on it, and make her my girlfriend. So. Well, it was funny. We went out to dinner at a place that was pretty close to the hotel. We just walked down the street, and it was pretty intimate too, because it was a place I had been to before, but there was like nobody there. I think it was just a late Sunday night and nobody was out. But we ordered food, we had drinks, we were just talking, laughing, having a good time. And then before we know it, like 2 or 3 hours had passed, and as we are getting up to walk out, like Kenzie like turned to me and she goes, that was kind of our first date, wasn't it? And I was like, wait, yeah, I guess it was. So like I feel like we didn't even really realize it because it just kind of happened naturally, and we just had such a good time together. Um, and but yeah, like we have a bunch of stuff that like we want to plan. That's super fun. We want to do, beach dates. We want to go skydiving. We want to travel together. So we got some stuff cooking up for sure. No, 100%. I feel like Kenzie and I have completely moved past the entire golf situation, but also just, the movie night situation and everything in between. like coming from her perspective, like, she was there a lot longer than I was. And then when I came in, I decided I really just wanted to explore her. So, we were able to talk about our emotions, on TV. All of our conversations were there, the ups and the downs, talking about my feelings, but then, I was also implementing myself into her and understanding where she was coming from and why she was moving the way that she was moving. And ultimately, like when she told me that, after kissing Gaul, like that is what made her realize that she has no interest in anybody else and that she just really only wants to be with me. That obviously felt great. And then we continued to talk about it. And then the defining moment for me was family day when I got to meet Kenzie's mom and her brother and just hearing all the positive things from them about, they knew from day one that she wanted to go for me and that they really liked me. They really liked me as a person. They thought I was authentic on TV and then even better in person. And then also it feels good to hear it from my mom. Like my mom is somebody that I look up to a lot in life, especially for relationship advice. And, she gave me a lot of just great things to hear about Kenzie and how she thinks she's an awesome person. And, coming from my mother, that's literally all I need to hear to be able to just like open up or like, close my walls and just open up to Kenzie as much as possible. And I feel like from that day, I was able to just like 100% gain all of her trust and go into the real world. And here we are, and it's been really, really great so far. Yeah, I mean, well, for me, it's easy. Like, I feel like I'm just a lover boy at the end of the day. So, for me, it's like a lot of the physical touch, going out to dinner and just like the quality time as well, joking around. Like, a lot of our personality is just goofing around and doing, just dumb stuff that make each other laugh. And I feel like we really dove into that a lot in the hotel room of just being authentically ourselves and goofing off and just kind of being weird. And like we're both a little weird to a certain extent. So just like it meshes so well. And like we laugh for hours about the dumbest things. And then for her, like I really found out that she was super into me too, and that she was super serious about, the longevity of our relationship and wanting to, become my girlfriend. Was also family day when at the end, like she pulled my mom for like a personal chat and wanted to sit down and speak with her and be like, hey, this is how I really feel about your son. I really like him. I'm not sure what you've seen on TV, but I just want you to know that like I really care about him and I want to pursue him to the next level. And I think my mom just really appreciated that. I really appreciated that because nobody has ever done that before. And it really just showed me that like she's gonna go the extra mile for me. And I feel like I showed her that, throughout Casa between, setting up a massage date, making her breakfast like the exact special way that she wanted it. And then also just outside of the villa, having the conversations with her, talking about our future and longevity and like what we want to do, as partners. And it's just all meshed so well. So I feel like we're all feeling really good right now. Hundreds. Yeah. I don't even know if all of them made TV, to be honest with you, but it was too many to count. And it was especially funny seeing her doing it outside because it's like, it's not like the split was just invented overnight, but she has this like, I don't know, just this like beautiful aura that comes out of her when she like does this and everyone just freaks out. And I just remember the first day, we were at a coffee shop and literally she just drops the splits and everybody just goes insane. So it's just one of the funniest things ever. I love watching her do it every time. It makes everybody laugh and smile. And then I've been seeing like a lot of comments recently where people are like, oh my God, they're like perfect because during the karaoke challenge, like she dropped into the splits and then I jumped over and did like this air toe touch split thing or whatever. So they're like, oh my God. And then I was doing the backflips and stuff and they're like, all right, they're just an acrobatic couple at this point. So yeah, it's been hilarious. No, I mean, to be honest with you, I went about that experience exactly how I would go about relationships in my everyday life. Everything that was shown on TV, and I don't really know everything because I haven't seen it all. But between, the super highs, laughing, flirting, kissing, talking about sex, and then also just the lows of, me crying and just like getting emotional over a girl that, I really cared about, and being able to like, get emotional and super deep with friends and getting those advice of people in the villa that have been in the relationships longer and have gone through those feelings as well, has just been super nice. And it's allowed me to like just understand what's going on there and just process those emotions better. And I honestly wouldn't change anything about it. Like, you could say I'd rather get rid of all the negative emotions, but then it wouldn't really be real. I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. Like, you're always going to go through ups and downs, your trials and tribulations, and ultimately, I felt like every time that we went through some negative emotions, we ultimately like grew closer and have moved forward in our relationship. So I feel like I wouldn't change a thing, because ultimately I ended up with the girl that I wanted to be with at going in there, and I couldn't be happier. I'm not entirely sure what's going to be brought up. I'm sure like people are going to be asking questions about like whether we're like boyfriend girlfriend or whatever at that point. And I have no idea. Like, I don't have a time limit on it, but I know that like I'm sure a month from now we're going to be even closer. Obviously, I'm going to already have met her family, and hopefully she'll have met mine too. And it's going to be great. But I'm sure people will have some questions about other Islanders, like what our thoughts are on obviously Bryce and Trinity for winning and that sort of thing. But generally, like I had no beef with anybody throughout the entire time. And for the most part, I don't think like Kenzie had too much either. I think a lot of the girls just kind of like dealt with each other in certain scenarios, but ultimately everybody came out friends. So I'm not sure there's too much negative on our side. Yeah, I think it goes without saying at this point, but like Kenzie and I like really, really, well, I almost said a different word. We really, really like each other a lot, and we're moving in that direction of like, really falling for each other. And every single night, like we just talk about how we feel closer, and we just are like moving in an amazing direction. And I'm obsessed with her. She says she's obsessed with me, so it's just like it's a great feeling, and I'm just excited to see like what's in store for us, coming up in the future for relationships and whatever else it may be.